Part 1 of the Nintendo Switch 2 backward compatibility list. This list shows which games are and aren't backward compatible between the Switch 1 and the Switch 2. In addition to Nintendo Switch 2 games, Nintendo Switch 2 can play compatible physical and digital games released on the Nintendo Switch system. The Nintendo Switch 2 system hardware is different from Nintendo Switch, and some Nintendo Switch games may not be supported or fully compatible with the Nintendo Switch 2. From Nintendo.com, the status of compatibility test for Nintendo Switch games on the Nintendo Switch 2, updated April 1st, 2025. Next update is planned for later in April. Blue means no issues found during basic compatibility testing, which means there may still be issues, they just haven't found any. Light blue, games can be started, further tests in progress. Sky blue, game is playable with issues in certain parts of the game. Please see below for the list of titles. Orange, issues were found during startup. Please see below for the list of titles. And red are not compatible. So far, there are 122 Nintendo games that Nintendo licensed or published, and there are over 15,000 partner games, aka third party. During testing, games are started and limited testing is conducted. Compatibility status may change if issues are found. We will update this page as necessary. Some games require the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con controllers to play. See details. Games that cannot be played on the Nintendo Switch 2. The game is Nintendo Labo Toy-Con 04 VR Kit. The publisher is Nintendo. Details as to why it cannot be played on the Switch 2. The Nintendo Switch 2 console cannot be inserted into the Toy-Con VR goggles accessory, so this game cannot be played. And on this day, every adult baby, man-child, cried out because their favorite box game can't be played on the Switch 2. Games with compatibility issues on the Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo is continuing to improve compatibility, including by working with publishing and developing partners. Games with startup issues, they have a PDF. Games that are playable but have some in-game compatibility issues, they have a PDF for this. We will be going through both in the future, so make sure you like, share, subscribe to keep updated on the Nintendo Switch 2 backward compatibility with the Nintendo Switch 1. We're going to scroll down a little bit, and this is where Baby takes over, reading the title and then the little paragraph underneath it.
Games that require Nintendo Switch Joy-Con to play. The following games can't be played with the Joy-Con 2 controllers that are included with Nintendo Switch 2. If you have Nintendo Switch Joy-Con, the controllers, and connect them wirelessly to Nintendo Switch 2, you can play these games as you would on Nintendo Switch. Please note a Nintendo Switch console or an accessory such as a Joy-Con charging grip or Joy-Con charging stand two-way, each sold separately, is required to charge Nintendo Switch Joy-Con.
Game number 1, or technically game number 2, Ring Fit Adventure. Joy-Con 2 can't be attached to the Ring-Con accessory that's included with Ring Fit Adventure, but you can play on Nintendo Switch 2 by attaching Nintendo Switch Joy-Con to the Ring-Con. Joy-Con 2 do not fit the in-leg strap, so you can connect, as my baby said, your Switch 1 Joy-Cons to the Switch 2 to play games that require a Switch 1 Joy-Con. Next game up is
1/2/Switch TM. Joy-Con 2 controllers don't include an IR motion camera as in featured on the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con R, so it's only possible to play games that use this feature if you wirelessly connect a Nintendo Switch Joy-Con.
Fourth game is Everybody 1-2-Switch. The volume of the Joy-Con 2 controller's force feedback vibrations has been reduced compared to the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con controllers, so it may be more difficult to find hidden Joy-Con 2 in the minigame Joy-Con Hide and Seek. Our cat's mad.
Game Builder Garage. Joy-Con 2 controllers don't include an IR motion camera as in is featured on the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con R, So it's only possible to use the IR motion camera nodding, or IR light nodding, in the free programming mode if you wirelessly connect a Nintendo Switch Joy-Con.
R, which I think is the right one. Next up is Nintendo Switch Sports, TM. Joy-Con 2 controllers do not fit inside the leg strap accessory, so it's only possible to play the soccer shootout mode using a Nintendo Switch 1 Joy-Con.
WarioWare movement.
That's me.
Movement. Move it. Joy-Con 2 controllers don't include an IR motion camera as it is featured on the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con R, so it's only possible to play micro games that use this feature if you wirelessly connect a Nintendo Switch Joy-Con R.
Next up is Nintendo Labu Toy-Con 01 Variety Kit. While Nintendo Switch Joy-Con can be used with the included Toy-Con accessories, the Nintendo Switch 2 console cannot be placed in the fishing rod, motorbike, piano, or house Toy-Con accessories, nor can the RC car Toy-Con accessories antenna be attached to the Nintendo Switch 2 console, so it will differ from the original game experience. Next up is Nintendo Labu Toy-Con 02 Robot Kit. Joy-Con 2 can't be attached to the Toy-Con robot accessory, but if you have a Nintendo Switch Joy-Con attached to your Nintendo Switch 2, you can play this title on the Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo Labu Toy-Con 03 Vehicle Kit. While Nintendo Switch Joy-Con can be used with the included Toy-Con accessories, the Nintendo Switch 2 console cannot be placed in the screen stand included with this title, so it will differ from the original game experience and not be the same. I only read those last three because those are some weird titles and I know my baby would struggle with reading them. Labu Toy-Con. That means all the adult man-child babies that love putting their Switch accessories in boxes and wearing boxes on their back and straps on their legs are crying out in anger right now, and their tears are streaming down their beards. These are the first 10 games that are not or partially backward compatible with the Nintendo Switch 2 that came from the Nintendo Switch 1. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to find out the rest of the list as it comes in, because we will keep you updated. As always, I am President Bagz.
And I'm Ross.
And we are
Out.
Joy-Con.